One of the breakout players of the NBA season was unquestionably Christian Wood. After going undrafted, he spent 4 years mostly in the G League, developing on and off the court, before exploding this year for the Pistons. So, my name is Daniel, and let's get to why he's been such an effective player, particularly on the offensive end. First off, he's one of those versatile bigs who can play two positions, as he played 54% of his minutes at the power forward this season and 46% at center. And particularly at the 5, he's established himself as a devastating roll man. He's 6'10" with the bounce to sky for lobs. This adds a key element to any pick and roll, and here he catches one in traffic. And even when he doesn't get the pass, the threat of the lob can free up his teammates. Here Horford is in a drop, but he doesn't stop the ball because of Wood's gravity. He does a good job of rolling fast to the rim. This time, he doesn't set a hard screen, but that allows him to get ahead of the ball and behind the defense. With his soft hands and leaping ability, it helps him shoot a tremendous 77% at the rim, but he's way more than a run and dunk player. He's also good on the short roll. This may be my favorite part of his game because he's such a playground bully. Here on the roll, look how he's all power as he lowers his shoulder and finishes over Bradley. This time he goes right at Gobert, and his physicality helps him get to the line a bunch. While this style of finishing won't work for everyone, he's so physically gifted that it does for him. Here's a great example of why. First, he's all power going right at Kornet, showing he has more strength than his frame suggests. Now, Kornet is still in front, but notice how Wood outleaps him by about a foot, and it's a foul. I did enjoy this though. He tries to go through Baines, but it's hard to move a brick wall. The good news is that he also has soft touch and can make a floater when he has to. Add in the fact that he gets rebounds at a solid rate too, and he's quite the weapon rolling to the rim. The one negative is he's a subpar passer, and he had a negative assist-to-turnover ratio this past season. And here on the roll, he doesn't recognize the correct pass is to the open shooter as he misreads Paul and forces it inside. I wouldn't call him a bad passer as he has some feel for the game, but right now he can make very simple reads and not much else. Moving on. And where he really separates himself from other rim runners is with his perimeter skill set. And it all starts with his three-point shot, where he shot an impressive 38.6% on nearly 4 threes per 36 minutes, and he has a good-looking natural stroke. This gave Detroit a ton of flexibility as Wood could roll to the rim or be an adequate floor spacer. Here, Thon Maker can screen and roll because Wood commands enough respect, dragging Horford away from the hoop. Check out what he does here. During the first pick and roll, he's spacing the floor, and then when it's unsuccessful, he comes to set the ball screen, where he happens to be a major threat. That kind of flexibility is super valuable, as he can alternate between the 4 and the 5, and be paired with bigs from Maker to here Blake Griffin. If Blake wants to post, he has Wood to space the floor. And his perimeter skills don't end with shooting, as he can also put the ball on the floor and attack closeouts. And here's a smooth drive and finish. This is really where you watch him and go, who the hell is this guy? Someone that tall shouldn't be able to do this. But again on these takes, it's not just the handle or the athleticism, it's the extremely aggressive mindset. Here at this point, there's space between Wood and Noel, and whoever closes this space wins, and it's Wood who initiates contact and closes the space. Now, the one caveat I will add is that his three-point shooting will likely regress next season. In 4 G League seasons prior to 1920, Wood shot a career 28% from deep and was pretty consistently low all 4 seasons. So while he's clearly improved his shot and shot it at a decent volume, this is something to monitor. Because of course, if his shot stops falling, that affects the rest of his perimeter game. Here, he's a matchup problem for Jokic because Jokic respects his shot, which lets Wood blow by him. But regardless, Wood was awesome this season, and after Drummond was traded, Wood played full-time starter minutes and put up 23 and 10 for the last 13 games. And what was so impressive was the Pistons weren't calling plays for him or posting him up much. He was just extremely productive and efficient, creating shots for himself in the flow of the game. That scales well to a good team. So let's talk about defense, and I'll start off by saying I found Wood trickier to evaluate than most. On one hand, he doesn't really do the little things that coaches rave about. His box outs can be sloppy, and here Embiid gets by him. His overall awareness level isn't great, and here he lets Bamba get behind him. He'll also commit more scheme-specific mistakes. For instance, this game, the strategy was for the Pistons big to be in a more aggressive drop versus VanVleet. Notice how Maker is up at the three-point line before backpedaling, and this discourages the pull-up three. But here, Wood drops too far back and gives VanVleet space. And at the next timeout, Casey talks to him about it. On the other hand, Wood is able to make up for much of that with his physical tools. He has a 7'3" wingspan which helps him affect shots all around the court, and here's a good high contest. With his tools, I'd describe him as a solid rim protector. Opponents shot 57% at the rim when he was nearby, which is an average mark for a center, but good for a power forward. And he has the length to get blocks. Plus, he has good feet for someone his size, and was able to switch onto guards in a pinch and hold his own. There's that length to contest. So while he still needs to gain strength and polish, there's definitely versatility here. He defends both the 4 and the 5, and he does a nice job here on the switch. Also, I was pretty impressed with his pick and roll defense when he was in a deeper drop. He shows solid feel, and here we see he's in a drop, and he does a good job of sniffing out the lob pass. He understands the importance of not letting the roller get behind him, and here he stays even with Gobert to prevent the lob, and then he contests the floater. According to Second Spectrum, when he's the screener's defender in the ball screen, opponents are scoring only .92 points per direct play, which puts Wood in the 85th percentile. I wouldn't overvalue that stat, but there's film to support it isn't a complete fluke. His length is evident in the drop, and while he isn't the savviest defender, after 5 years of pro basketball, he exhibits a certain level of discipline. Notice how he doesn't fall for the pump fakes. If we look at the numbers, they back up that Wood has had a fantastic season. Detroit was a massive 11 points per 100 possessions better with Wood on the court this year, and he was particularly a game changer on offense. 3 of the most respected all-in-one numbers also love Wood. They all rate him well on offense, and also really liked his defense. Now, while it's worth showing these numbers, all-in-one defensive metrics do favor Big significantly. But still, I think it's clear he's not a bad defender, and if you pair, say, average defense with versatile, productive offense, and you have a good player who's being underrated by the general public. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned about why Wood, now a free agent, will get a big payday from someone this offseason. I'll see you next time.